Okay, here I am. I was asked to produce a video that showed the difference between the smaller board, the standard size player board, and the extra large player boards. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at that and look at the size, the footprint that Mosaic has on the table. It's impressive. It's very big. So in order to play this with especially 6 players, you're definitely going to need a large table regardless of which player board you pick. So if we show you real quick the full picture of the game laid out with full player boards here, share that with you in a second. You can see the table is set up with 6 players with full size player boards. The game is ready to start. All the parts are ready. You can see all the components. In the picture, you can see the solo cups, and that is for reference for size. So to give you an idea to tell you, at a minimum, right now, the way that's set up, it's 72 inches wide by 60 inches deep. And in my opinion, that's the smallest um, area that you would need or be able to play with comfortably based on all the cards and components that you'll need to do with 6 players. So let's go ahead and analyze or compare side by side the two different size player boards. So here we have a standard size player board. See that in relationship to my hand, and we compare it to the extra large. It's approximately double the size. Now, at first glance, you'd think, wow, well, it takes up a lot of table space. But in a second, I'm going to show you how all the components compare to each other once they're in play. So for starters, we have a regular size player board that measures approximately 11 and 5/8 wide by 7 3/4 inches tall, compared to the extra large player board that is approximately 16 inches wide by 13 inches tall. Some of you have questioned or wondered, should I go and pay for the extra boards? Well, let's talk about the table space. Definitely these take up less table space. However, even though this takes up small space, you still have extra components that as you collect through the game will take up space, such as your government, your achievements. You may have multiple of those. You may have your golden ages that you've acquired, more than one, and possibly your wonders. Next to that, you also will be collecting various cards, whether it be population, tariffs, build cards, or technologies. The technologies need to be displayed with the small board in a way that all of the icons, get that in focus for you, those icons there, there you go, down here, these icons, they collect. And as you see, I'm laying them out. You're going to need to account for them because depending on which icons you have, how many of them will depend on what types of technology cards may be played based on prerequisites and or other build cards. On top of that, build cards need to be displayed at some point or at least stacked along with population cards and tariff cards because some of them have end game results such as negative points or possibly positive points. So whether you stack them in a place or spread them out, you still need room, along with your character. You need your character space. It has starting abilities and ongoing abilities throughout the game that must be displayed. And then you have your actual playing pieces, your components. Now in this case, I have the deluxe versions, the miniatures, which in my opinion, because they're offered, you need. But you got the various city tiles and town tiles, along with your infantry, your workers or populations, and they need to either collect into here, you need to have a space or a container. Now, when you compare this with the extra large player board, you really aren't saving much space. The tokens that come cardboard wise basically is one full sheet per player is the equivalent of how many cardboard tokens if you didn't have the upgraded deluxe. You can see they're the same size. So whether you have the cardboard or the upgraded miniatures, it's the same table space. What's nice about the deluxe board or the extra large board is it provides area on the board to manage all the things that you've collected. Your population goes in the top corner. There's a tracker for your production. Now, I didn't really mention in this one here, but as you learn the rules of the game and play, you'll note that it has trackers for your different economic systems here that we have. And they were shown or displayed by moving cubes across. It scores quite similarly to terraforming Mars. Takes up less space. You got room for your trade goods. Well, if you look at the deluxe version here, the extra large, I too have a way to track my economies, my different forms, whether it's money, whether it's ideas, food, or stone. It also locates an area to hold or separate all of my productions along with my trade goods. Also, my government can be displayed on the board. The wonders can be displayed on the board along with my golden ages and my civilization achievements. Now I could stack those if I want, but as you notice, it's the same amount of space. But what about your cards? Your technology deck that you've collected, your population? Well, what's nice about this is, in reality, throughout the game, you could just stack it together, put it in front of you, like this. The icons that you need, and I know I'm using a generic term, there's actually another term that these are called, but nevertheless, these icons that I'm collecting or tracking don't have to be displayed because I have dials that will help me track. What's nice about this is I don't have to go through my collection and start counting. So I just turn my dials. In my opinion, the deluxe player board actually saves space in my player's area. Regardless of which one you have, whether it's the large or the small, it's going to require quite a bit of table space. You may play with less players, which may gain you some space, and in that case, maybe the smaller board. But what's nice is the game comes with the small player boards regardless. It comes with all the standard version pieces, and any upgrades are on top of. Depending on your scenario, your gameplay, or the table you're at that time, you can then decide which ones to pull out. And if you have any other questions, please reach out to me, and maybe I can show another video displaying something specific that you're interested in. Thank you very much for watching, and if you'd like, please subscribe.